Hi team, good morning and good evening. So let's start today's topic, that is BDD, Cucumber Framework. Uh, as we already know that this is one topic I want to teach additionally to the entire team. And this is little bit big module. So in just one day, we can't complete entire BDD, that is in Cucumber Framework. So what I will do is, what are all important features we will be using it in the project, that I will be teaching you. In addition to that, in case there will be some few miscellaneous topics I can't cover today, that I will record and share you the videos to the entire team. So that's the approach I'm going to follow it. And all the queries, you can note it down because this is the last class. So at the end, we can discuss on it. Let me first complete whatever I have planned for today. Definitely, we will be having a time at the end for query discussion. At that time, we can discuss one by one. So first, before we enter into Cucumber framework, why BDD is very important. If you consider any IT project, one of the biggest problem here is requirement understanding. See how the customer explain it. You can see this is what a customer needed, but how the project leader understood it, and how analyzed designed it, and how programmer wrote it, and business consultant describe it, and there is no proper project was documented, and how it installed, how it was built. Of course, billing will be high from the customers. And finally, what the customer really needed. So see, you can able to see this is what the customer needed, but they have explained like this. So what is the biggest problem in the entire IT industry? Whatever be the waterfall model, V module, agile, scrum, any IT project, the biggest problem is understanding the requirement, and everyone should be in the common line. Okay, this is what the requirement, everyone wants to complete it. So this is something a big problem. So what they did, I want to solve this problem so that there is no rework, or we can able to achieve the required product as per the time frame and also as per the requirement. So one more example, like everyone will have their own point of perception. Like he may think it is a fan, then it's a tree, it's a snake, wall, rope. So this is one of the biggest problem. And every resource will have experience-wise knowledge, technical-wise knowledge. So definitely, understanding capability will be varying from a person to person. That's the main reason most of the requirement was wrongly coded or else wrongly conveyed. At the end, it's a totally waste of billing only. To solve this problem, they came up with a process called BDD. So BDD is nothing but behavior driven development. So it's a testing technique of agile software development and is an extension of TDD. So initially TDD is a one more topic is there. It's like you have to code once without code implementation, just the methods, and without application you have to execute. And there are a lot of problems in TDD. Just Google it. To solve that problem only, they came up with a upgraded version, extension also we can say, that is BDD, behavior driven development. And BDD, the test case are written in natural language that even non-programmer can read it. So what that means? Why everyone need BDD means, now the requirement, we already understood there is a communication between technical and non-technical teams. So how can we solve this? So let's bring a language which is called Gherkin language. So all the requirement will be written in simple English so that entire team, every stakeholder, client, everyone in the team will have 100% clear clarity on the requirement. And definitely when we close that gap, this is going to benefit the project. So that's where this PDD came into the picture. So when I say Gherkin language, so then comes the tool. So I have to work in BDD. Then what can we do? There is something called Cucumber framework. So Cucumber is a BDD development framework tool to write the test case. Here, there is an approach called given, when, and then approach. Given means a preconditions. When means an action. Then means a result. So rather than seeing this in the slide, we will go to the official website, and you must practice in that official website. It is Cucumber, 1 minute, Cucumber Gherkin reference. Okay, I just pinged you in the chat. Please book nail it. When you are free, you must go through this particular reference link very slowly and understand what each keyword refers to. So now I'm not going to explain in depth, but I will give you an overview about it. So here everything is a just keyword. So this is one simple example. Okay, let's go with the keywords. There are some primary keywords here are feature, rule, example, given, when, then, and, but, background, scenario outline, example. So these are all primary. In addition to that, we have some secondary keywords. So first one, feature. In simple word, all the requirement here, it is called as feature. Login application feature, such application feature. So in simple, when we say a test case with some requirement number, that equivalent word in Cucumber is feature. So here, when you create a requirement document, what we will do, we will save that as a .feature file. I'll be showing that practically. But as of now, remember, feature means the requirement. So this will provide a high level description of the software feature. Very simple. Here they have mentioned like guess the game. This is a feature. Under the B feature, you can also add the description. So what exactly that feature is for. So this one, that's your requirement number, test case, and test case description. The same way, here I will say feature and its description. This is the first thing. Anyhow, whatever we are seeing here, I will do it practically, but you should, what to say, you should at least, these words should be remembered when I do it practically. So first one is feature and description. So description, we can give it in any places like background, features, scenario outline, rules, and all. So you can always give those descriptions. And then the second one is rule. So you have a feature in that you're defining a rule. There can be only one. Easy comparison, it's like prerequisite. To test the scenario, the card member must be a gold or a platinum credit card holder, like that, a rule. You're defining it, nothing but prerequisite. This must, you must follow this particular condition. So that is a rule. So one word we are done, feature, second, first keyword, second keyword. Now examples. You can also give examples like what you want to test it. So that's what here they will be mentioning. The concrete example that explains the business rule. So you are saying some condition. That condition For that particular rule, you can define a sample example. You can see here few examples which describes the initial context, event, or expected output. That is also. So important feature, rule, example we are done. Now comes the most important keywords, that is given, when, then, and but. This we will see it later. These three keywords are very, very, very important. So what is given? Given is nothing but it is used to describe the initial context of the system. So what is a simple I am logged in? Given the application URL is launched. So you're giving something. We already know something like here another example. What is a balance? So it's a initial condition. Maybe registered demo website is launched. Given. Okay, then next one, given, then when. When steps are used to describe an event or an action. So you're going to perform some action on it. So that is called when. Here, guess a word or invite a friend. You're withdrawing some money. So this is when. When you do something, definitely we have to know what is the expected condition. No? So that here it is called then. Then is used to describe the expected outcome or a result. In any, even in automation, Selenium, what is our, if you put it into Selenium coding, we will have some set of data we will be declaring that is equivalent to the given. And then we will try to test it. We use lots of get text method. Then we will compare it with the actual and the expected output results. The same formula, they are coming up with a Gherkin language, like a given scenario. When you do something, what is the expected result? That is called then. So all the requirement will be written in this format only. So that's the one thing you have to remember. The simple example, like a card should be like this, or receive an invitation like that. This is an expected outcome then. So given, when, then, we are done. Now comes and, then, but. So sometimes we can't, it is not a good readability by given, no. So this will not be very good readable format. So instead of repeating the same keyword again and again, what we can do, we can use and. So you see, given one thing, given another thing, given yet another thing, rather than saying like that, given and. So this like a very nice to readable stuff. So we can use and but means it's for the negative condition. See, when I open my eyes, then I should see something, then I should not see something else. So the same statement we can also say like, when I open my eyes, then I should see something, but I should not see something else. So a negative scenario. So mostly else statement if we want to compare it with the coding part. So given, when, then. Remember, these are all the main thing. In this, you can use and, then, but. See, you can use these two keyword in given also, when also, or then also. You can use it any places. There is no rule like you have to use it in this particular keyword only, combination only, nothing like that. You can put this anywhere else. And then we have the asterisk symbol star. So instead of typing and, you can also mention star. This is also fine. It's a easiest way to write the requirement. And if you can see, this is a in place of any normal step keyword, that's what they are saying. It's something like list of things, bullet points. And background is something when there is a common for multiple scenarios. Okay, now comes few more. So we are done with the feature. And if you want to write a scenario, okay, let's consider we have seen parabanker. So successful login, invalid login. Like that, positive scenario is there, negative scenario is there. For that, you will have each scenario. Okay, scenario number like that. You will write that scenario using given, when, and then. Positive scenario, negative scenario. For both the scenarios, the application URL going to be same. It's a common one. So that I will put under the background. So background means whichever thing common for all the scenarios, for all the test cases, in simple words, test scenarios, we can put that under the background. And it is also supported at the rule level also. So they have very, and how you have to use the background, they give some tips. Then scenario outline. When you want to implement data driven framework, that is same flow but different set of values you want to you want to execute, means you want to implement, means then you have to use scenario outline. This we will be seeing it practically. So in addition to that, for documentation, you can use docstring, triple quote, then that is double quote thrice. So we have how to create a data table in the feature file. So this is a column name and each rows separated by the piping symbol. Like that, you can see here. This is one of the best documentation I have seen it, team. So now I gave a simple glance only how these keywords will be used. You have to go through this document and try to convert the requirement whichever we have seen in the Selenium and TestNG. We have seen so many programs, no? Try to convert that to the feature files, because it is a simple English, so there is nothing technical part here. Only thing is you should know how to use each respective keywords. So when you keep on create the feature files, then only these keywords will be in your mind. Suddenly in an interview, they ask you to, can you write a feature file? Like that means it should come spontaneously. So this you will get only if you try to convert all our requirement, whatever the assignments I have given, try to convert that everything to the feature file, simple English. So this URL is very, very important. Based on the understanding, what we will do, we will try to create the Cucumber framework. And so let's move to the practical stuff. See, whatever we have learned now is theory stuff. And we understood what is BDD and why we are using a simple communication gap is the biggest problem happening. We are closing that between technical and non-technical resources. And everyone will be in the same line. So they will write everything as a feature file using the Gherkin keyword. And it's a very simple language. So definitely everyone can able to understand what is the requirement we are going to achieve, what is the product we are going to develop. That definitely solves the biggest problem. And I'm sure you have already faced this requirement update or requirement change will be frequently done or frequently requested by the clients in our real time project. Such type of things we will not face it here, that problems. So advantages, if someone asks, you can tell many advantages. Reworks we can reduce it, cost we can reduce it, so many advantages, and everyone have a full clarity on the requirement. And there are so many advantages when we go with the BDD. Now let's try to create the Cucumber framework using the Maven project. And when we started with the Selenium, I gave you an architect type, like you have to try with few architect, I said. But now one biggest problem is there is no 100% accurate artifact ID for the Cucumber framework. For example, go to others. In the Maven, I told everyone we have to don't select this one. I said, let's try to go and search it here. This is what I said for all the test ng one, so that automatically all the configuration of the POM will be done by the tool itself when you search for maven.apache. So this will solve a lot of problem. On one team. A bit slow. So I said you to go with quick start. Now the problem is for Cucumber, there is not 100% accurate artifact ID. If you type Cucumber also, you will get a lot of things like this. I tried all the type of artifact ID. Definitely you have to do some additional setup on that. So only for Cucumber framework, you use the simple project, create a simple project. But the assignments, whatever I taught for Selenium, TestNG, POM, for everything, you should follow the artifact ID, Apache.maven quick project. Only for PDD, only for Cucumber, you should go with this one. And default, I think, 1 minute. Team. One minute. Team. Okay, I changed the settings. So in this place, we will have our default one, create a simple project. Next, now we have to enter the group ID and artifact ID. Nothing but the package and the artifact means the project name, Maven project name. I will say like Selenium automation and using the Cucumber framework. So artifact ID is nothing but the project ID, Maven project name. And what is the packaging on these stuffs? You no need to worry about it. These two fields we have to fill, finish it. And you can see Cucumber framework we have created and try to compare it with what we have created initially. So when we created with Selenium, only SRC main and SRC test Java was there. But with Cucumber, we have some more additional folder structure like resources and all. Let that be for main and also for the test. Even for creating a hybrid framework, we will use this folder structure. And it is using 1.5 version. We'll try to convert or we will try to configure everything in this pom.xml. So this is what the pom.xml is created. Now we have to add almost 4 important dependencies here. So what are all the dependencies are? I have already taken the latest one. So I will be sharing this document, directly use it. But 1 or 2, I will show it here. MVN repository, go to that. So we are going to use Cucumber using Java. So you search for this and you will get info queues. In most of the blogs, they will be using this. Now everything from here, they have been migrated or moved to IO Cucumber. So this one, you can use it, 7.1 version. This is nothing but IO Cucumber, then Cucumber Java, this one. Next one, we are going to use Cucumber JUnit framework. Even though we have learned a TestNG framework, we don't have any idea about JUnit means. No worries, just we will be using 2 to 3 tags. And if you understand that, more than enough. We can run as JUnit. So Cucumber JUnit integration. And of course, we will be going to automate the Selenium application, Selenium Java. This you will be already knowing it. In addition to that, exactly JUnit framework. Mostly when we create, this will be the default one. Now we directly created using shortcut, so no dependencies was available. So better add all these dependencies. So I'll be giving this document. Just copy paste, make sure you are adding it everything inside the project. Copy paste, control A, control I, control S. It will take some time. So one is for Cucumber Java, JUnit, Selenium Java, and a JUnit framework. If you see here, now Maven dependency is added. All the Cucumber Java core Gherkin language and the data tables and JUnit framework. Then you can see JUnit, Selenium, all the stuff it added. So manually adding all these four is, it's going to be a very tough task. So by default, if you want to do Cucumber framework, go with the Maven project. And we have to build the project. So additional settings needs to be done. So this you copy and paste it here. After dependency, control A, control I. So you are using a plugin, that is Apache Maven plugin, which will compile our code using 1.8 Java version and a Surfire plugin. You know this. So this file, actually I will be uploading entire project into the Canvas portal. You can download directly and refer this pom.xml. And there is not even a single good blog which will be explaining about each one, that is each dependency or this one. So don't follow other blog, better directly download this and use it. Maybe when you use this after a while, this version alone will be changing. The number which I mentioned here is just I have referred yesterday only, like 24th December 2021. It's all the latest version. It means at least for next 4 to 5 months you can use it. So all the POM setup is done, and you can see some error came. This is a very famous error. You will be getting it, and you can see there is no error in none of the folders also. Then how to solve this error? Actually, we changed the 1.8 version Java. So this is what we did, source and target. It is not updated in the project level. So right click on the Cucumber framework and you can see Maven update project. You can note it down. This is very important. Definitely you will be getting this error. If you directly download this project and do, no problem. But when you go step by step, this error, you will be getting it. So all you have to do is right click Maven. In the Maven, you have to go to the update project. That's it. And this is a project. Okay. Updating Maven project. Now you can see the version has changed to 1.8 version, but you may think we have used JDK 11. No problem on that. Go with this 1.8 version. No problem on it. If you want some other version, latest version, you can configure it here also. But we will go with 1.8. This is the POM setup we are done. Now, setup is little bit mini process we have, additional steps. Go to help. In the help, go to Eclipse Market. It will take definitely some time. You have to install the Cucumber Eclipse plugin. Why? Because whenever we create a feature file, that is requirement file, You type all the Gherkin keywords. So each keyword will be highlighted in some special color. So it will be easy for us to identify our mistakes where we are doing right, because it's not a programming language. No, programming language means you will get syntax problem, but there is no option like that. So cucumber, just search for it. And in some of the blog, they mentioned that natural plugin. I feel Cucumber plugin is much better. They will say natural plugin. This will save the purpose of this also. Go with this one. This will create unwanted additional errors. Don't go with this. All blogs I have seen like 2018, 19, 20. The latest one, which I tried yesterday, this one is best. Cucumber Eclipse plugin. I have already installed it. You have to install. Then only this is the color, the logo like this. When you create a feature file, you can see this symbol. Now it is installed. Okay. So again, this is also done. It means we are completed with our setup. POM, adding the dependencies and that plugin, just copy paste, you have to do it. In addition to that, like how you have installed TestNG plugin, same way here, you have to install the Cucumber plugin. Very easy one. Now, we are going to create the requirement. Going forward, from now, I will not say requirement, I will say feature file. Everything in Cucumber is feature file means requirement only. So I will be saying feature file. All the feature file, you have to keep it in the project location. This is a project. So it's a good practice, habit, keep everything here, create a folder. You can create something like feature file. Feature files, finish. So feature files you have created. Now you're going to create the first requirement. Maybe right click above this folder, new file. See, for log, for properties files, everything, for XML files, everything, we will create a file and give the extension. Automatically it will convert. Same way for the feature file also, we have to do the same process like parabank. So I'm going to teach you using the parabank because we have already seen registered demo multiple times. Next time, so we will see with parabank. This is important. Dot feature. Note it down. It is not features. It is feature. Inside this. Finish. Yes. You can't. Now you can see that green color symbol. By chance, if you are not adding that plugin, means the program will work, but you will not get this color. So best practice when you want to work in Cucumber, first complete all the setup and then start doing the program. And you can see we just created a sample file. In that sample file itself, it is explaining about each keyword. Like if you want to comment, you have to use this hash symbol. Usually in Java, we will put double slash. No, here everything it is explaining. So feature means list of scenario. Scenario means the test cases given, precondition, when some action, then what is an expected output, and then but you can use it anywhere. Outline, it is like using for data driven examples. You can tell that background if there are common scenarios. So whatever we have seen in that document, they have mentioned here also. And we have, so sample feature file, they have given feature, title of your feature. I want to use this template for, and the scenario one, scenario two. And if you're going for data driven, you have to go like this. So they itself have given a file. If you right now, I will erase this, control A, delete. When you do it, try to create a sample dot feature. You can refer that also when you do first time. So let's try to code it. First, what is an approach I'm going to follow is Feature files, let's try to code without the Selenium code. Once you all understood the concept, then I will implement the Selenium code. It is similar to the strategy what we followed for TestNG. We understood all the features, the annotations, the same way. Some important things here we'll try to understand. Once you're clear, then we'll put the Selenium code into that. So we are going to write the first requirement, feature, colon, and you can see the color is changing. In case if you're doing any mistake, it will correct you. And another problem is, not problem, feature you are available is control space means it will give all the keywords. So you no need to worry even if you forget. First, maybe parabank login functionality. This is a feature. Scenario, you're going to create it. Login using valid credentials. Okay. Given, what is given? User is navigating to the parabank. Then maybe parabank URL given when user and not user, username and password are valid. When, then you can say display the user detail or home page. You can say user home page, and after that close the application. See, and it's all about the English. It is purely English. There is nothing new here. Only thing you should know meaning of each keyword. Scenario, first feature, entire requirement. In that first scenario, I'm going to try with the positive scenario. Then I'll go with the negative scenario. Precondition, when, then I'm using and. And suppose you are not following any indentation, what you should do means right click, always to pretty format. And I think I have, instead of tab, I pressed something else. Okay, now pretty format, see, automatically it did. So most of the time, remember, we may do a syntax mistake. In Java, when we code it automatically, the compiler will tell this is what the syntax error, semicolon is missing. It will help us, but here it will not do it. So what you have to do, right click, do the pretty format. Without doing pretty format, don't go and execute the program. If you see, it will say like this, something, line 7, something mistake at line 7. So you have to correct it. When you do pretty format, you should not get any pop-up. It means you have written the requirement correctly. Now, in TestNG, we used to create everything as a user-defined method. Still, you're not clear what is a user-defined method means. Go to the Java module. In Java module, I have taught you how to create a user-defined method which returns value without returning value, passing the parameter. So that is the base for both the TestNG and also for the Cucumber framework. So you have to be very strong on that. But one best feature about Cucumber is in TestNG, you have to create everything. But in Cucumber, automatically it will create it. So this is similar to annotation. Now see the magic. Right click, run as Cucumber feature. Always follow this shortcut. You can save a lot of time, coding time. And you see, so the scenario is this, and one scenario we have created which contains 4 steps, 3 skip, 1 undefined, something like that they are saying. And you can see automatically this is nothing but public void method without returns the value. It is similar to It is not similar. It is exactly creating a user defined method with an annotation. So it is creating by itself. When you run the feature file, this code will be generated. We can use this for our coding purpose. So you no need to waste time on writing this again and again. We can directly use this. Okay, feature file is created. Now in the 1 minute team, Cucumber Architect, see, go to some images. So they can see. So what we have done is Cucumber Gherkin files we did. Now, this is just an English. For this respective Selenium code, we have to write it, no, nothing but these method. So I have to create somewhere that we call it as step definition. You can note it out. Step definition. See, whenever I say some terminology that is important for interview purpose. So for everything, this, what is the keyword for calling this requirement as feature file? What is the keyword for writing this one is, that is the respective methods using Java or any language, that we call it as step definition. And if you want to, you can execute through as a feature file, as a step definition, or else you can create a runner class. So that's the final level. So let's go step by step. We are done with the feature file. So this is how the requirement will be shared in the Scrum meeting. In the agile methodology, you know very well, we will be getting the user story, and that story itself will be in this format. Now by reading this, anyone in the team can able to understand exactly what we are going to test it. So that will close the communication gap. Okay, feature file is created. Now what we will do is we try to create the step definition. Again, SRC test only we are going to do it. SRC test Java, right click, new, create a package, or else go to class. You can give the package also. Next gen AI dot. Here you can give like step definition. So inside this package only, all the step definitions we are going to create it. So parabank login scenario. No need to select public static void main and all. Just do the same. Click on finish the step. Okay. The file is created. So feature file. Now the respective code you have to mention it here. You can type step by step, or else the best easiest way, just copy this. And remember, it will not be 100% accurate. Whenever you use and all, it will not create it. So you must cross verify. Don't blindly go with it. But this will solve at least a lot of coding time. And now you cross check. Okay. Given the user is navigating to the parabank URL. You can see if I copy this and put it here, given this given, how it is creating, given annotation, and always import IO Cucumber Java in English. And this description, it will be coming here. And before and all, like 2 to 3 years before, automatically regular expression, it will be created. Like it will be between this symbol and dollar symbol. Nowadays it is not creating that regular expression. Another concept which I'm not going to teach you today, it will confuse you a little bit. So let's focus on very important concept. And this text, you're getting it here, and it is creating a user defined method, public void. Just it is using the underscore, user is navigating to. So this is a method. For every requirement, respective methods are created. So using given, yes, then when. So that is what we have written, right? When username and password are valid. Okay. After that, then then display the user homepage. Here, see, it is saying and then only you can make it as and. No problem on that. Sometimes some of the method you may miss it when you run it as a feature file. So don't blindly go with this console. This it will definitely save a lot of coding time. Copy paste here, and now inside this we have to implement our code. So what I will do, instead of this creating a new throw exceptions, I will just put this out message in every place as of now. Then we will do the code implementation using Selenium. First one, maybe I will say Bank. Excuse me, home pages. AUN launched successfully. Okay, then valid. Okay, so I'm using valid username and password entered. Actually, even you have to click on that button. That also you can add when username are valid. Sometimes username or enter. I'm just including and like click on this one login button, one more under. So now how to write this? Now we will write that scenario. So this code we will just enter username and password. Let's try to write one by ourselves using under. Within the double quotes, click on login button. Okay, public void that method, you just put underscore. That's it. Is it a rule that we should follow exact one, or we can give any name? Means better go with the name what is mentioned in this feature file, because this English is used by everyone. No, a common understanding. You can do that. So always that should match here, or else it will not execute. Click on login button. Now copy this. Click on login button. You can say user home page is displayed. See, for doing this, we no need even application also. In sense, if you have this particular snapshot, definitely in the agile scrum and all, day one maximum, by on day two itself, you will have an idea of what is an user story you are going to choose and how you're going to create it. So what are the fields it will be available, and definitely we are going to get this feature file. So based on this, directly we can start creating this. So this is also called the something like in sprint automation. On the sprint you're trying to do the automation, no need to wait for the next sprint. How to do that? Now without application, we are trying to code it like application is closed. Application is not even, we don't have anything, but all the methods, annotation, entire coding part is completed. Just when application you get it, you have to inspect and add the code here. Okay, let's try to execute. We can also execute this as a run configuration, and you will get this one. That feature file, it will be selected. No, don't change anything. And you have a meaning of this monochrome pretty and all. It's like it has its own meaning. I'll tell a little bit later. Just click on run. So it is executing. Our program started executing. And you can see, so this is a scenario. And of course, we didn't define anything. And one scenario, 5 steps. So it is saying like 3 skip, 1 undefined, 1 passed. 1 undefined means we have to uh, make sure whether is there anything changed when username and password are entered. We mentioned that, right? When username and password are valid. Okay, here small change is there, no problem. You don't need to worry about it. So it is already, it is executing. Sometimes the small, we give some message, no? I think, yes. We updated this one. I hope you remember. Initially it was valid. Now I made it as are entered. That's why it is showing you an error. There is no method like that. So what we can do, we can replace that. So what I will do, just I'll put it here. I'll remove this. So even you do any changes in the feature file, and that feature file keyword, that is this keyword, this particular line is not matching with the method, you can see that in the console as a one undefined, unpassed and all. If this is one important one, it will help us to identify what is missing in our program. Okay, there is no code. Okay, this is a one of the way we can able to execute it. Now comes the 1 minute. Okay, no problem, Asif. Welcome. So now we executed and we saw it. So what we have seen is we created Gherkin file. We created a step definition. Still, we didn't add the code into that. Let's try to execute this through the runner script. Then we can add it. And you can see here the way how it will work. Describe behavior, write the step definition, run and fail. This is an architect, it follows. Is there any? Okay, let's go with runner file creation, closing all the things. Okay, one more package I'm creating in the test class. Instead of step definition, let me create it as runner. So this is runner class. You can give any name. I will go with the runner class. Finish. So it is like you can execute one feature file, multiple feature file, you can generate the report, lot of things you can able to do it from the runner class. You want to execute entire project as a JUnit. For everything you need the runner class. If you remember when you try to create this particular POM using Selenium, automatically one runner file it will be creating for JUnit. So that is what we are going to create it, but for the Cucumber framework. So you just create one simple class. Here only some modifications we have to do it. So no need to worry about that. We will not mention anything here. Above this, some important annotation. So if you see annotation at you have a lot of annotations fine by whatever we have it. In that we have something called run with. So I want to execute this project as a JUnit runner class, and you can see what this will do it. You can just read this suit dot class, suit class which suits JUnit stuff. So simply as of now, what you can remember, I am going to execute my Cucumber class. So Cucumber dot class. So this is a Cucumber class we are going to execute. First annotation, second annotation, just two annotations only. That is in Cucumber class, in Cucumber, these feature files I should tell no where this particular step definition is there, where this feature file is there. I should tell. For that, I have to give Cucumber option. You can consider this like a driver script. So a lot of It will drive the entire framework, Cucumber option, and you go inside this, you'll have many details here. Glue, glue is there, default there, monochrome, publish, name. For what is the meaning of everything, you can see it here. You can generate a report in JSON format. Every details already mentioned inside this one. Anyhow, at the end, I will teach you those stuff. So Cucumber option. But additionally, if you want to learn in detail means go inside this by pressing Control and click on this. Okay. Now, control space, you will get all the options available. Feature. See, it is in the string in the square bracket. Either URL or path of a directory of the feature or single file or the entire package as per your wish. Or we can mention the class path also. So in simple, you have to give path of this. Okay, this is the path. Right click, properties, path of it. Copy and within the double quotes, mention it. This is the path in which it is located. And you all remember, no, if I want to run it's a dynamic means what we will do. Two ways, get property we can do it, or else dot. Dot means in our project, you have a feature files inside that parabank dot feature. This one I have to execute. If you are not mentioning this means whatever the feature file available in that folder, everything will be executed. At the end, we will try that way. Now, the first one, first parameter feature. So this is a feature I want to execute. Okay. First one is done. Now, what is the next one? We have something called glue. Glue equal to exactly where the step definition is available. So if you see glue package to load additional glue code, step definition, hooks and plugins, all the stuff. If you want to do it, you have to use the glue. These two are mandatory. And what is the package name? This is the package name. Sorry. Yes, step definition. The package name, which is in the test folder, you can directly mention it within the double quotes. So 1 minute team. Okay, save. Now I'm running it as JUnit test. So two parameter, feature and glue, compulsory, must. Let's see how this will work now. I'm sure this is the first time you are seeing the JUnit, but still, if we have a Java code, you can see the console. One by one, it executed in a sequential way. Parabank home is launched successfully. Valid username and password. Click on login button. So sysout message, it printed out. And in the left corner, you can see JUnit runner. So this will give all the step, how long it took in second, and a pass. If it's a failure, it will give failure trace. Even you can run a particular, the entire one from here also. Run, right click run, then also it will run. So this is how JUnit will look like. So one way is first the approach what I said is create the feature file. This is a shortcut, please follow it. Definitely you can avoid a lot of errors, especially when you are a newbie. Create a feature file. After feature file, what you have to do is run as Cucumber feature file. Once that is done, you will get in the console all the methods what you have to do it. Methods, in another word, step definition. So you're creating another package that is step definition in the for the first test case parabank login scenario. Just copy paste that. Definitely when you use and or that will not be coming here. It may consider like a then or something. Try to review everything and make sure it is matching. Then you can execute from here as a feature file. Then make sure, okay, every scenario is covered, you should not get any undefined. Undefined means definitely when you mention a code, it will fail. So undefined, you have to resolve it. Maybe if I run this again. Okay, it is executing as a JUnit. Okay, fine, no problem. From here, when even if I execute now, JUnit test case we have done, no, so it is going here. So because we added what is the feature file needs to be executed, and once this is done, finally create a runner class. This is just one time task. After that, you have to just update each feature file and execute it. So create a runner class to annotation run with. We are going to execute the Cucumber class, which is having options like feature, the path of the feature, single file, or the entire folder, that is multiple feature files that we can do it, and a package of the step definition. Just that you mentioned it, more than enough. Now, what we will do is first feature file we are done. Let's try to improvise this code. Just copy, there is no break for today. So adjust with me team. Control E, Control V, Control C, Control V. Right click, pretty format. I'm just trying to log in using invalid credential. So scenario one, valid credential. This is invalid. So just imagine what it will be. User is navigating to, yes, common. You can put this in scenario here, even in background also, that's also possible. Background, you can mention this there, but that is like an advanced level. For first day when you watch, let's go with the most easiest way to learn. Scenario 2, login using invalid credentials. User is navigating, user are entered, clicked on login button. What should happen? Unable to, then unable to log in. This is what should happen. If you see here, almost all the steps are common. This is the one additional steps we are getting, additional one, unable to log in. But rest of the steps are same for both the scenarios. What we will do now is right click, run as Cucumber feature. Yes, this is what I got. You can see here two scenarios. One undefined, very important. What is undefined? This method is not available. That is unable to log in for a negative scenario. So you can implement missing steps with the code snippet. Okay, copy this, and you can see scenario one, scenario two. Yes, it's working. Go to this particular here, where to add. You can add any place, no problem in that. Nothing will happen. Even at the bottom, you can do it. But here, unable to log in, unable to log in. 1 minute team, display there under in username. Are you, if you want, you can create a separate method, which, okay, this both of them are same, right? So what I will do is, let me say like a username and a password entered or invalid or entered. Here I will put invalid username and a password are entered. I'm just putting like that, updating the script, and it is saying this is missing. Put that here. It's because we have to give such data, no? So I need two method. One method for positive scenario, another method for negative scenario. That's why I updated this. When you update, automatically it will create another one. So here at the bottom, when invalid username password are entered, unable to log in. Close the application. for us, now we no need to worry about the sequence in which we mention. It will automatically pick as per the sequence in the feature file only. So if you miss or you just put this above, at that time nothing will happen, but always go in a sequential way so that it will be easy for readability. Now let's try to execute two scenarios together. Okay, I have to update something, right? I didn't update this thing. What I will update here, let's put invalid username and passwords are entered. And then I can say like login failed. Login failed. Okay. Now let's execute. Run as JUnit. It should pass. Yes. See here. Parabank launched successfully. User enter. Click on login. Home page. Close application. Scenario 1. This is scenario 2. Invalid username password enter. Login failed. Application closed. So it is trying to use the same method. If you have observed the output, 1 minute, just look at the output. This is a comment, right? This is a comment. This is a comment. We didn't write twice, but it is working as per the annotation and the exact the text what you have mentioned. So in simple, you should not do any mistakes in feature file. This and this, it will go and search for it, then it will pick it from here. For that reason only they will use a regular expression, like sometimes we may miss it, so they will put like cap symbol and dollar if we mention. So it will search. So within this, is there any word like this, it will go and search it. Regular expression. Right now we are not doing it, so it is executing as per the thing, and you can see JUnit report login using valid credentials, login using invalid credentials. What is this text? This text is nothing but scenario. Cross check it. Parabank login functionality is a feature. The message, whatever you are mentioning, you will get it. Login using valid, invalid. You put n number of scenarios, automatically all the scenarios it will be capturing. So that's about the two scenarios. One is positive scenario, another one is negative scenario. So till now we have completed the setup. Before the theory part, setup, then how to create a feature file. In the feature file, how to write these stuff for two scenarios, respective step definitions, and how to you can execute this as an individually, or else now if you can't execute this as an individually, right? Because this contains multiple scenarios. Now comes the importance of runner class, where it will go and read it from here and do it. Even you can run as Cucumber feature file. That's also fine. And if you want to see those logs, scenario 1, scenario 2, two scenarios. See, two scenarios, 10 passed. There is no code. That's why it is saying passed. If we have a Selenium code, respective message we'll be getting. It took this much time. So always what I will be doing mostly, whenever I want to cross check, I will try to execute as a feature file. When I want to run multiple files with a lot of settings, different reporting means, then I will run as a Cucumber, this runner file. But don't execute this one, because each step definition will contains multiple methods. It will get confused in what sequence you need to execute. Either use feature file execution or runner class execution. Okay, now what we do is, let's try to put the Selenium code in the existing code. So 1 minute team. I can directly code it here, no? Yeah, I will directly code it. So the URL, we already did few code. We can reuse it. POM, test ng, maybe register demo code. Test ng. Those codes also we can. So define it. Define. Now it is a common driver object. After that, it should launch the application, which should come here. So I will remove all the comments. So I'm not going to explain this. You know it very well, meaning of every line. Instead of URL, for time being, instead of parameterization, I will give it as an hard-coded value. Control C, Control V. So this is an URL you're going to launch. Still, we didn't have the driver folder. Why error? Okay, this test ng report, we removed it. Driver folder, you have to create the driver folder. So I'm copy pasting driver folder, chrome driver.exe. That is also available. So first part is done. So then the next one, enter the username and a password. We have to code it. Let's inspect it. So name property, sorry, name locator, it is username. Driver dot find element by dot name locator and its value dot send keys. Maybe next gen demo, you can try to give username and password, any username password, same thing, it will log in, it will work. Next gen demo, see, you can see it is logging, it's working. So this is what I'm going to use. Same way, driver dot find elements by dot name. I should try for password, name locator. I'm using same one. In real-time scenario, those values will be changing. Okay, valid username and password are entered. Now we have to click on login button. This one, you can use class or else go with the expert. Directly I am following it. In real-time scenario, proper expert needs to be given. Driver dot find element. You have to customize this relative expert. So dot click. So in simple, this will something next gen demo. It will go like this. Even if I enter any password, it is taking, not same also. Okay, maybe anyhow it will not be displaying there. So here, after successful login, how can I confirm that this is successful? Yes, maybe this link, if we have some welcome message, Ganesh, so here they are using some name, right? This welcome text, if it is available, I can say okay, it's a successful login, or else I will use like new, open new account. If this is there, means obviously we are inside that indirect meaning. So display here, we will code that scenario. So in the agile, you can imagine now we got the application, we are started coding based on that. So driver dot find element by dot partial link text. Instead of new open new account, I'll go with a new account. New account is displayed. It's a boolean, no? So let's try to save it under a boolean as a status equal to. Now what I will do, if it's a true, then I will say that's it. If it's a false, else also I can give. So it will go and check after successful login whether this link is displayed or not. Yes, it's displayed true. If it's true, you will get this. Or else, if you're not getting this message, you can understand it is not working. You can add else also. Now close the application. Driver dot close. Same way, invalid username and password are entered. Actually, the problem here is whatever you give a value, it will enter. You whatever the value you give, click on login, it will work. So I can't test that scenario. So what I will do is, without entering the password, when you click on login, you will get this message. This you just imagine like we are validating this scenario without entering the password. In real time scenario, you will be having a proper code like control A, control I. Here I'm not giving any value. After that, if it clicks, then it will invalid scenarios. Okay, let's see. 1 minute in display, click on login. Okay, it is common only. Then unable to login. Unable to login. How can I say that? This message, inspect this one, copy next path. So web element error message equal to driver dot find element y dot xpath. That particular object imported. It's not. It is showing that on minute. Yes, it is in the hidden mode. Okay, now login failed. Error messages. I'll put error message dot get text. So here, whatever we learned, I'm just implementing here. So all the scenarios coded, it should work for two scenarios, positive and negative scenario. Let's try to execute it. So execution started. First scenario, it worked. It checked that new account was exist. Now comes the negative scenario without entering the value. See, if you see the console, positive scenario. User is pages displayed means it checked that status. Negative scenario, entered the invalid credential and the error message, see, please enter a username and password. We use get text method and application is closed. So it means it's working perfectly to past. If there is any failure, you will get here failure with some trace. You have to go and check why it is failing. Same way how we do it in TestNG by seeing the console, we have to do it here. So we are done with the coding. Now what we will do, we'll go to the next concept. So we will reuse this scenario again and again. One more feature file I will create. Here, if you have noticed something, we are passing the data as an hard coded value, which is not a good idea. So we have to parameterize it. When I talk about parameterization, multiple ways we can give it. One is I can give it, of course, every value we can pass from the feature file. One is by giving the values like within the double quote as a simple string, or else using the data table or data driven. So three ways we can do it. I'm going to teach you all the three ways. What I will do is, let this be here. Let's try to create one more copy paste. So feature bank, maybe data. I'll put like data. Okay, one more feature file. I will remove this. Now, remember, one problem you will be facing is when you go to when you have multiple feature files and this particular requirement, if it is same means, it will try to go read from this also. Actually, by chance, if this particular annotation followed by text match with multiple step file means the script will get confused. So when how to solve that, we'll discuss a little bit later. But as of now, when you start as a fresher, try to create every feature file as a unique one, a unique step definition. How to do that? Let's do a small modification. User is, rather than navigating to Parabank, what I will say, user is on login page, something like that. Then the user enters the username and the password. What is the username? Double quotes. Now I am giving from here. Next gen demo, username and password. Password, it can be same or it can be anything. Still it will work. I'm using. So see the comparison here. It's in this particular feature file, it's in hard coded instance. You're giving the value in the code step definition, but we are passing here from the feature file. In real time scenario, we will be using the data table concept, but still we will learn this also, just double quotes. And then click on login button. I'll put like yes, clicks on login button, display user home page. So I'm changing everything. So the respective methods will be created. Use excuse me, display user. Okay, simply I'll put leave about the grammar so that we will get all new methods. So let's try to create one more step definition. Parabank login with the data. Finish. First, let me copy this just to get practice. I'm creating like this. If it is an unique also, it will work. But first time you go like how I'm doing that. And see, there are some changes. This one, okay, let's try to compare it. First one, user is navigating. This code remains the same, no big difference. And now, let me put this here. Username, password, we gave it directly here. And now, see, it is created a method with arguments string 1, string 2, and automatically it created the way how this particular value needs to be passed. Both of them are string data type, so you don't touch that, let that be. Here you can rename it like username, password. So exactly those username and password from here, it will come to these two arguments parameter and will be used inside the code. So copy pasting the same code, and still we didn't define the WebDriver. Now this error is okay. Instead of hard coding, you can use this one. Done. The next thing, click on login button. No big change. After that, I think we used and, no problem. Can use and also, or go with what it is mentioning. Then one more time and okay. Here display the this one. Mostly we will be modifying this area only. The rest of the code remains the same. Okay. Let's try to execute this program and confirm whether it is trying to retrieve value from the feature file or not. So one small modification we have to do it. Here, the feature file name is parabank data. Add data. Let's execute and see whether it's working or not. So it's launching the website. Just only one scenario we are doing it. You can see here it's working. So it is taking the values during the runtime from the feature file. Even you can run this also. But I always recommend you to run from the runner file. Yes, one scenario, 5-step passed. And you can see, if you want to see a very good console output means, you can see here what is the value you have entered and all the output message. How to create report and all I will teach you. It's very easy only. Okay, fine. So what we learned is, initially we try to hard code the value. Now we are trying to pass the value from the feature file. Okay. The next thing, using the data tables. So one more feature file, data table. Mostly in real-time scenario, this is the one we will be using it, but still we will learn all the concept. Okay, there are valid credentials. User is in login page. Here, user enters the credentials, and now piping symbol. What is the column name? Some blocks and all with column, without column and all they will mention. Don't get confused, go with this way. Column name is, first one is username, piping symbol, password, piping symbol, then it's a next gen demo. Even the password also same. Okay, you have entered like this, then do a ready format. You will get it in the right format. No need to worry about this space and all. Ready format will take care of it. Click the login button. Okay, what we will do is, let's try to use the same code with some other step definition. Class para bank login with data table. If you want to generate it, you can make a small changes like user on login page, user enters the credentials, clicks at login button, just trying to reuse it again and again, same concept. Then user views homepage, close the application. Let's see. Pretty format, save, run as Cucumber feature. We got all the four, one is undefined. Okay. Now you see, I will copy and show it. See, till now, when we generate, first time when we generated, it was like a normal method. Know the difference? Just a normal method. Later, when we used the values, it came with two arguments, two parameters. Now, if you enter a value like this, a data table, what happened here? No, we got additional comments like this. What exactly it is? First, let me try to import it and copy paste the same code. You have to focus only on this particular area. Rest of the things are same. So let me copy paste quickly. This is common. Again, I missed public web driver. Then clicks at login button. And then what else? Views. I think it missed one thing. And close the application. I think it is there in somewhere else. User will. Okay, that was missed. Cool. Click on login button. That code. Then this one. So given when and at and then is there, and actually it, I think it is there in some other class. Let me put it this one. Close application. No, reusability is very high here. Close application. Okay, now let's focus this area. You can see here, good part here is very clear documentation already mentioned. They are using a concept data table and its object is data table. Write the code here turns the phase above into a concrete action. For automatic transformation, change the data table to one of the list. So here you're going to give this values. That is, this values you want to do. You have to read and use it in the code. So you can use list or list of map like that. So all the Java collection concept. In the previous class, I said map means using key and value pair, we can give it. So that is the trick I'm going to follow it. So what I will do is first data table. I am trying to convert as maps. You can see a hash map and exactly key and value. And what is the key and value? If you see this one, it's all string data type. These value, column name and its value. Here, this is the key and its value, key and its value. So both of them are string only. What I will do is key is also a string. So string dot class, value is also a string. Okay, semicolon. And this needs to be the shortcut way to complete this is just mouse over above as maps. You will get the return types, and how it needs to be saved is inside the list, use the map concept, and both the values should be of string. So just copy paste here, and you can say that as credentials equal to. So what happened during runtime? Credentials to, okay, list Java util map Java util. Okay. Now what exactly happens is during runtime, it will read this. This is a key where its value, key and its value. Now as map, first it will take and save it here. And finally, it is a collection of multiple keys and values, no? So we are using list. So in simple word, every values, key and value pair will be read and stored it as a list. It will be in this particular variable that is called credentials. So inside this now, let's try to find our username. How to do that? Okay, let's try to save it to a variable username equal to credentials dot, what is the key? It is index 0. In this, what is the key name? Here mention that particular key name. Exactly how it is here. String password equal to credentials dot get 0 dot why typo error password semicolon. So literally, if we want to print and see, we can do that also. Username. Just I'm cross checking whether it is working or not in the console. Coordinating. Now, if you run it, it will display exact one. We have already code for it. We can use that. This is the code we have written. No, copy, paste it here. And if you observed it, this is nothing but this one. In many of them will directly code this here. That's not a good practice. Always try to get the value and assign it to a variable. Mention that variable here, and you can see it's a brown color. It means a local data. It's a local variable, so no need to worry about it. After coming out of this value will be clear. So username, password, entered. Okay, all the coding is done. Now it should be able to pick this value from the data table. So in the runner class, here what is the name? It's a data table. Run as JUnit. Excellent. We got some error. What is an error? Duplicate step definition, Parabank login. Okay. Login functionality. Right click, copy trace. I can't read it, so put it here. What IO runner duplicate step definition exception. In the step definition, see, I was saying, no, when we use the particular method, same name, if it is there, it will get confused. For this reason only, I said always try to, when you code a feature, try to have a unique one. And it is clearly saying one closed dot application, it is there in data table and login scenario. So it got confused which one to follow. So the simplest way to fix is go to this one. What I can do is close the application. Close application. I'll put a small fix. Close application. Close application. Now let's try to run it. It will work. Anyhow, that negative scenario also we have tested now. So it is entering the value. And you can see the value that this nothing but I have printed, no, where this one. So it means it's picking the value using exact key and value pair. You can have n number of columns, rows, and if you really compare this with our test-ng means, one of the biggest problem with when we have multiple number of columns means again you have to give number of where I think we have here itself that example. 1 minute. Like this, you have to give data. You have to give comma, comma. What if you have 30 columns? It's going to be a biggest problem, no? That we can able to solve with the simplest key value map concept. Here, we just mentioned that table name, and in that, whatever the one you want to use it, that you just called it get 0, and then what exact key, if you ask, it will tell what is the key value. You can use this particular variable in any place. So this will solve the complexity of the coding. Only data you have to give it in this here in number of columns. Maybe register demo, you can try this concept. It will be very easy to do it. So once again, I will execute from here and show you a Cucumber console. So you have to rewatch this video. I have created in a sequence like you like step 1, step 2, step 3. Same thing you should follow so that you can recreate these things. One scenario, 5 step passed, and you see it's just picked all the values. It is saying values properly entered. Okay. So first one, what we learned is by giving double quotes, the values we gave it from the feature file. Then we came up with a new concept called, this is a data table concept. Now the third level, that is data driven framework. I hope you all remember data driven framework means we will write for loops, lot of concepts we will be doing it, no? That here it is implemented in a very easiest way. I'll show you a sample code. Just create a new, maybe sample dot feature, finish. See here, using the examples, you have to give all column names, row 1, row 2 name. This is a column name. Then these are all rows. You can have n number of rows. And just you have to mention like this. Actually here one small modification you have to do it. That is, you have to mention everything within the double quotes, or else it will not work. That's why I showed this again. Don't follow blindly this one. Here, one small error will be committed. Okay, what we will do, we will try to do a data-driven framework using this example. And if you have noticed, here it's a scenario outline, but here it is scenario. So another observation is when you want to go for a data driven, you have to use the scenario outline. What I will do, let's try to create a new feature file. Parabank, login, data driven, dot feature, very important. No? I missed it. Okay. So this reminds the, okay, I'll close all the, let's try to, this remains the same. Now it is scenario outline. It is not scenario, it is scenario outline. What I will say, login using valid credentials. Okay, we can say bank login scenario. Again, you can type given user. I will give you some other name, LAU, launch bank page given. Then when user enter credentials, we will be passing it. What are the credentials? These two credentials. Whereas here in this example, like this, we will be doing it again. What are all the credentials? Like this, username and password. So this is how it is mentioned in the reference document. If you go like this, it will not work. Put it inside the double quotes. This note it down, evergreen mistake. Then click login button. Then user, I will put should and all, we should not use, but unique method I need no, should view home page and user should close application. I'm not this grammar and all, you no need to worry about it, because in the real-time scenario, everyone will sit together, the product owner will come up with a proper feature file, so that you can directly use it. For time being, I'm just giving English like this, pretty format. Okay, now we have to give the values, no, that you have to use examples piping symbol. First one is username, the column name, password, it should match. Next gen demo, both are same. Then maybe sample 1 2 3. You can execute even one row or two row, n number of row. But see, the data driven, they made it very easy when we compare rest of the test engine and all. That's it. You can cross check here examples, but one takeaway point mentioned within the double quotes, scenario outline. Okay, we are done with the feature file. Let's try to run as Cucumber feature. Okay, we got all the step definitions, two undefined. Okay, let's go with this. Let's create a step definition, bank, login using data driven, finish. Okay, let's try to copy this and cross check. See scenario outline. Or it is two scenario. Okay. Yes. Instance two rows, right? That's why you are getting twice. First row, second row. Data driven, no? It is working perfectly. Copy, paste it here. Now, first one given. Let's try to use the data table code again. Okay, before going to data table code, first we will confirm with this one given user launch Parabank page. When user enters the credentials, and it is saying simple to string format. So there should some code change here. We will be doing it. Then and we are using, but here it is when. I'll change to and import it. And after that, then, yes, then one more time and the user should close application. Okay, now let's try to copy it. So I'm following your sequence. You to follow the same sequence so that we will not miss anything, or else simplest way, when something fails from the trace, try to identify where it is getting failed. This we will code it. Let me copy paste remaining code, login code, this one, close application. Okay, perfect. Now, how to code this particular scenario? Just focus. It's very, very, very easy only. There is nothing new here. Whatever we learned initially, if you see in the normal data method, we just gave like this, no? Let us username, password like this, we did, no? Same thing here also, we are going to do it. No big difference as well. That's it. So data driven framework is implemented just like that. So you're getting this each values from here, first row, second row, based on this column. So you have to go with scenario outline, give it as an example. All the codes already inside this one. If you go and check it, now we can see the backend code. Inside this example keyword itself, they have implemented the data driven framework code. So all we have to do is just simply call the respective column names the sequential way. That's it. Nothing big change here. Let's execute this. This is Parabank login data driven. Parabank login data driven. I think spelling is correct. If not, it will throw the error. Let's see whether it is executing for two rows. So first row, it's working. First iteration. Now it should run for second iteration, sample 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's working. So how come in real time scenario, whether I should go for like this or just data table, which one is best means according to your scenario. If they are asking you to try to validate, especially we will be doing lot of negative conditions, no, yeah, for defect fixing. At that time, follow this trick. If you cross check, this means register demo for each field you want to check a different value, that is mobile, email, proper email, or verification number greater than 3. Like that, we have discussed all the negative scenarios, no? Such negative cases, it is easy when you go like this. Just like that you can do it. And when you have a many number of arguments, like registered demo, like you will have at least like 20 columns at that time, what you have to do is you have to go with key value pair. Where is that? Data table. Key value pair is one of the best way to handle many number of arguments. Just like that you can do it. So that's about handling the data. So what we have learned is how to create a feature file, a static scenario, multiple scenarios. First one, multiple scenario, and then we hard coded, and then we try to pass value from the feature file. Then we use the data table mechanism. Then we learned data driven also. So we are done with the feature file concept. Now what we will do is let's focus on runner class. In runner class, if you go inside this run with, okay, Cucumber option, we have so many things. Dry run, feature files means you can give many files. Glue, that package name, returns a list of package names. Extra glue, plugin to get the reports. Monochrome. Okay, I will go one by one. Let's focus on this alone now. Okay, so just for easy readability, what I will do is okay. So we are going to play with few more types arguments, and this is again an interview question. They will ask what are all the mandatory field, what each parameter means. Right now we know feature and glue. Now the next one, we have something called control space. You will get dry run. Dry run is something, it is a very best feature for us. What this will do is it will try to compare the feature file versus step definition without executing. Just it will check all the mappings. Dry run, you know, right? Before we start full execution, we do a small dry run, no? In automation, same way. Now, without even launching the application, it will cross check whether all the keywords, step definitions are matching. For that, you have to put true. That's it. Dry run equal to true. Now run as JUnit test. Execution completed. Without even launching the application, it checked scenario 1, scenario 2, all the past. What it literally mean, it went and just opened this particular one, and whether this keyword respective methods in the step definition, it is available or not. It is helping us. And if we cross check, for example, if I put a negative scenario, you will get more clarity. Data driven. Okay, what I will do is I will comment this. Now this is not there. Let's do a dry run, because in real time scenario and all, we will have n number of methods. At the end, knowing the thing which is failed, better we know at the starting itself, no, what it is saying. It is failed. The undefined step execution. See, the user should close the application is undefined. So this particular thing is not available. You can copy trace, you can paste it, you can then what you can do, okay, I have missed this particular keyword. So copy and go to that respective class file and just add that. That's it. So this will save a lot of rework, because some big flows execute for a long time means after knowing at the end, in the starting itself, we can cross check with the help of dry run. Very, very, very best, most used feature, dry run. Before and all, we have some other like strict and all. That is one more feature. It was available. It is like strict equal to true. What this will do, the same, it is same like dry run, but the output you will get after execution, it is nothing but similar to the real execution, no? So there is no big difference. But right now they have removed that from the Cucumber option. There is no strict, only dry run is available. So for time being, I'll make it as false, so that dry run is disabled. In addition to that, we have few more tags like monochrome. So what this exactly will do is, right now I can't show the output because we have coded properly. Sometimes some of the special characters, some of the, what to say, special format, that will not be displaying properly in the console. Maybe something like you will be getting like this, something that some unformatted things and all, you will see it in the output, that we can able to remove it when you make it monochrome equal to true. When you make this, what this will do, this we can able to read the console message in a human readable format. Interview question. See, only run scenario whose name matches one of the product question. Okay, they are saying like this, but still the special care that it will give in a proper readable format. Right now I'm not going to use it. Then what else is we have? Yes, very, very, very important. Focus this plugin. Plugin means what type of a report you wanted. You can see JUnit, HTML, JSON, usage report, unused, rerun, test engine report. We have n number of plugins configuration available. You can Google it. Plugin for Cucumber. Oh, it will take that. Okay, fine. Let me directly code and show it. And maybe few years back, instead of plugin, we were using like format. Right now, it is not there. It is replaced by the plugin. Additional information. Now, what type of report you want? So within the curly braces, mention it. I said we have HTML, we have JSON, we have XML. Let's go with the HTML report. HTML. This is a report I needed. In which folder? In the main folder. In the main folder. So I want to create a reports folder. So main project. Under the Cucumber, it will create a reports folder. So there is no folder here as of now. In that, what is the name of it? Maybe I will say that as a HTML report dot. Okay, that is also dot HTML. No, it will confuse. No, so okay, web report dot HTML. So a new report will be created. Name will be web report in the HTML format. Let's try to run as JUnit. So execution completed. Now let's refresh the folder, project folder, refresh. You got see reports. Go to that particular one. reports happened. This one, web report. Say it created past two scenarios. JVM, if we have used some tags, we can do it. File name. What is a feature? Scenarios, given. See how good it was. It's like, and where I have executed using the Windows 10. So clearly it is there. A simple HTML report. Same way, the JSON report will be very useful while creating the Cucumber report. So I can create that also. JSON report I needed. It should be inside the reports folder. You can keep anywhere. Maybe you can put JSON report dot format JSON. Okay, let's execute and see whether it's working or not. And sometimes XML also we can do it. So login. Maybe I can reduce one iteration. Yes, 2 row it's completed. And you can see it here. Refresh. I have already installed a JSON plugin. This is how a JSON file will look like. See all the data is in the JSON. Whatever we did, it created line. So we can send this JSON file. We can able to communicate between the web pages using JSON. So you know well about JSON. Same way you can do for XML also. Maybe I can say types of Cucumber report using, okay. See different programs of a message, pretty HTML, Cucumber documentation. Let's see what are all it is available, because we can't do everything. May see, you can see a big thing. Cucumber report and GCRT. You can glance this. Any other tools? QA. This one also a good website. They have used pretty. Pretty means you can see that in the console, I think so. And monochrome mode. Yes, actually, this is what I thought too. Monochrome. You can see in a very monochrome true. The special characters. Okay. 1 minute in. I will reset. Usage report. It will look like this. Cucumber report output. Like Cucumber. Like this also you can do it. It will look like this. Maybe Cucumber report is very famous one. I will try to give that into the runner class, comma, Cucumber report. It should be in the target, or I have created a reports folder. And then HTML report we have seen, JSON we have seen. You can create a junit.xml also. This is also fine. Then all reports will look like this. Okay. Cucumber report. Actually, in the Jenkins also, we will be using the Cucumber report only for CI/CD. I will show you one sample. So based on the customer's expectations, you can customize the what is the report you want. Mostly, to my knowledge, everyone wants Cucumber report only. Again, it's very easy. A one-time configuration. Just refresh Cucumber report. Okay. We'll see whether able to see it or not. refresh Cucumber report .html. Did we miss? Okay, one Cucumber report .html. Let's see. This is an HTML format, so I have to give the extension .html. No? So just one more topic is pending, that is tags. We have hooks and regular expression and all. So those miscellaneous topic I will record and give it to you later. But for today, what are all the most important topics we will discuss. Almost it's completed. Let's see the Cucumber report. Yes, this is our web report, Cucumber report, almost same, no big difference. So they are giving just like a Cucumber report, almost same only. So initially I said that as a web report, which is nothing but Cucumber report in the HTML format, JSON. I'll remove this there. Okay. So this is about the reporting. Now comes the tagging concept. In the Selenium, I taught you in TestNG grouping concept using smoke testing, sanity, regression. Same thing, we can also achieve it here. How to do that? Let's try to open the Parabank data table, data driven. Okay, we have list of things. Maybe I will say this at smoke. So this feature, entire feature, I'm saying for the smoke testing. This I'm saying for maybe sanity. So here, even we can define scenarios wise also. Let me put this as a regression there. Regression. This one specifically I need for sanity, invalid credentials. Then sanity. Then regression. So I have given 3 tags. I didn't follow any conceptual way. Let's try to execute it and see how this will work. So tags equal to within the curly braces at maybe I want to execute smoke alone. Needs to be mentioned inside the double quotes. This comma is not. Tags equal to, it should work. Why it's not working? Control F. Tags. Tags. So within the curly braces, register your queue at code unused rerun. Let's see. 1 minute. Let me give multiple tags at sanity. So this one is not working for me. Let's see typo, regression, sanity. Tags default, it's empty. argument, list of plugins, it will publish. Okay, tags, it's not working. Me 1 minute. How to mention tags in Cucumber runner file. Let's go to, okay, this itself, tools QA. You properly mentioned, but still it's not working. Feature glue, see tags, we mentioned it properly only. Tags at correct only. I don't know why it's not working for me. What if I remove this one? It is accepting, but I don't know whether it will work or not. Within the curly braces only we have to give. Okay, anyhow, let me run it. If it is not working, I will cross check and let you know how to give for tags. It's not working because smoke we have already mentioned, sanity, sanity, regression. Okay, fine. Regression. Yes, it's working now. Okay. I understood. What is the biggest mistake I did? It's wrong. Sorry, team. Actually, the configuration here we did for the particular feature file, that is wrong. No, actually, we should not do like that because we have to refer to the entire folder. This folder, in the entire folder, you're choosing the tag based on the number of tags you have used. So that's why it is getting failed. Now it should work. I think they also mentioned it here. So just they mentioned feature. Okay. But still, let's see why it's getting failing for me. It's executing. We will cross check whether it picked all their regression suit or not. With this, I'm done for today. Still hooks and regular expression. Maybe I can come up with some better example for tags that I will record as a separate video and share you very soon. So whatever we have discussed from starting of the class, we completed Java. Based on Java, we have done the Selenium. The same code, we just moved to the test ng, and then DevOps we have completed. Now, what you can do is the Selenium we have used, the test ng, that you can convert to the Cucumber framework and try to do it. So that you are 100% fully completed the requirement for interview. And I will also share the separate document for you on interview preparation on Cucumber framework questions that I will upload to the Canvas model very soon. The website is very slow. Okay, once this execution is get completed, we'll go for the query discussion. The application is it's loading. So meanwhile, I'll check for regression. This one should run. Okay, better. I'll stop this execution. It's very slow. So what I will do is I will create a separate video for tags and other miscellaneous topic and give it to you later. So I'm just passing the recording. Then we'll discuss on the queries. Thank you, team. Resume. So we have executed using the regression tag. If you have noticed here at regression tags, we have mentioned, and then in the feature, we have mentioned what is the folder name. So after execution, you can see the report. All the tags belongs to regression it executed. So this is entire feature with regression, and separately wherever regression was there it executed. Same way, if you want to give multiple tags, that also you can do it. Actually it is working. Maybe the performance of the application was a bit slow, that's why we are unable to do it. But still I will create some grouping concept, come up with some different examples, and implement this tags, regular expression, hooks, other concept, and share you a separate video. So that's I want to convey this in recording team. Thank you.